So the good thing about building wands, you don't need a lot of wood. I use an old piece of flooring, but you could use anything else. So I am making two wands, and one of them is gonna be round, so I started with carving out a roughly round shape. Now here comes the tricky part. I want to insert this stone, which is called Speckstein in German, which would translate into bacon stone, which is very fitting because it is very soft, but I think the English name soapstone is less random, so we go with that. I want to give the stone two flat sides where I can glue the wood to, but making the cuts parallel was very difficult. So I don't want this to break in the end, so I thought it might be a good idea to carefully drill a hole in the stone and connecting it with some sort of dowel to the wood. Thankfully these stones came in a pack of 5. Next plan, to just glue them onto the wood and hope for the best. So I'm using a quick bounding epoxy here, but just to be sure I let it dry overnight. So I thought the quickest and easiest method to keep everything in place would be just to put tape on it. Which was the quickest and easiest method, but also the most stressful. Now to the dusty part. At this point I wasn't quite sure how I want this wand to be looking, so I just started removing wood little by little. So the wand broke. I glued everything back together and hoped that it wouldn't happen again. Now to the second wand. This one's gonna be square. And for that I put down a piece of sanding paper on my table saw and just sanded for hours. So this sandpaper is from Festool, which I got very cheap at an expo. And to be honest, I didn't thought that there would be such a difference in cheap versus expensive sandpaper. So sanding wasn't that bad actually. Now the wands just look like fancy sticks. And to really make them look like wands, I'm adding a few little details with the rotary tool. And now to give them a little shine and mostly to make them more sturdy, I finished them in epoxy.